Hi, I'm Charlie Gilkey from Productive Flourishing. I want to talk about Dr. King, his dream, and how we're living it. Okay, so King's broad message was about equality, not race. Race was the focal point of massive and obvious inequality in his day, and King campaigned against that particular incarnation of inequality. Due in large parts to his leadership, we will be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 soon. That's phenomenal when you think about it. 2.5 generations. Okay, I'll quit. I don't want to weigh in on how far as a society we've come. I've lived in 3 different local cultures. The South, the Midwest, and then the Northwest. And in 3 different ideological cultures. The world of academia, the world of the military, and the world of business. Asking how far we've come as a society will only lend a tentative and weak "it depends," because it depends on which society you're in. When we ask how far as a society have come, we're also asking a question that's both unanswerable and misses a major thrust of King's point entirely. King's message was a call to action for individual people. He inspired individual people to put their beliefs in practice in the face of violence, suffering, and tyranny. He reminded us that our turning a blind eye to inequality and injustice only allows those inequities and injustices to persist and grow. It was King, after all, who said, "We will have to repent in this generation, not merely for the vitriolic actions and words of the bad people, but for the appalling silence of the good people." That's true of today as well. His message is about personal responsibility, not external analysis and observation about the state of society and how it lives up with some dreams. Here are better questions to ask if you really want to ask them. When was the last time you've eaten with someone who doesn't think, look, talk, dress, and love like you do? Let's go further. How many times have they been in your home? Do you actively seek out people of different races, nationalities, sexual preferences, religions, and backgrounds to be on your panels, interviews, podcasts, compilations, or events? Do the stories you tell your children involve a diversity of heroes, villains, strengths, and challenges, so that they see that the world is full of all kinds of people doing great things in their own way with their own capabilities? When you clutch your purse on the street out of fear or avoid sitting by someone who doesn't look or feel familiar to you, do you recognize that and actively work to reinterpret that experience and what you might do in it? Do you have open, loving, curious, and sometimes really awkward conversations with your friends about race, sexual preferences, religions, nationalities, and disabilities? The answer to those questions are far more important than any type of assessment of what's going on out in the world. King's dream isn't my dream. The stream of history has flowed many years, and we have different realities in front of us. Our current challenge is not that we have police letting dogs loose on the people of color, but that the signs of inequality and injustice are far more subtle, and we allow those to have the right stolen without us speaking up. We can't just be reactive. We have to be proactive. And by we, I mean you, me, our families, our kids, and not the politicians or the change organizations that we all too often advocate our problems to help so that they fix it. So King also said, "A nation that continues to produce soft-minded men purchases its own spiritual death on an installment plan." Let us not be those soft people and let our worries, concerns keep us from getting out there. The very best way we can celebrate the man and his dreams is not to focus on the dreams of his day, but to do the work that he inspired his generation to do in a way that addresses our current reality. We have a lot of work to do, and it can be daunting. But there's one last message from King. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step. Take the first step if you haven't, and take the next one if you have. Thanks for listening, and more importantly, thanks for taking proactive action. We'll see you next time.